Okay, well now say hi. Just like
Hi!
fuck, that's pretty good, man.
If I ever get out of this house alive, gonna set the whole goddamn place on fire. Forget about the past, the future won't last. Pretend that these stones were not meant to be thrown. If I ever get wise without putting in time, never have a fear of being alive. Forget about the past, the future won't last. Pretend that these stones were not meant to be thrown. If I ever get out of this house alive, gonna set the whole goddamn place on fire.
What the fuck? Well, how does it work?
We're new here.
Which part couldn't you
Do I have
figure
to,
out?
like, do I have to take it off big screen mode? I don't understand why it just shows the background now after the song. It's confusing to me because it never used to do that. And,
Right, it used to go back to the view that was previous. Now I think you actually have to push it.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Right?
I don't like it.
And then if you push the wrong one, it just ends up with you on the screen, and you're like, ah!
Well, yeah, I'm an ugly motherfucker, so who wants to be seeing that? That's just.
Ah.
Imagine if it was like first thing in the morning and you had to see that. Like, wow.
No. I'm good.
Cheers, Magpie.
Yeah, cheers everybody in chat.
Hell yeah. What's everyone smoking on?
I popped open a fucking jar of the Ghost Walker OG.
Oh.
Yeah.
How is it?
It's gassy. That's pretty much it's not super fucking awesome, but it is very nice. It is better than most of your like kind of if somebody says, "Ooh, I got some gassy stuff," it's better than that usually. But
Okay. Okay.
yeah, you know, so but it really does kind of it gives me that reminiscent of that old, you know, we're gonna call it fuely. You know, it's I can't really say gas. We'll call it that general fuel, right? Because it's little chemi, little fuely, little all that. So, and this was one of those that I used that little vacuum sealer to you know, seal the jar shut. And I was just telling you, you know, I popped it open, and you were like, "Yep, I heard it." You know, it's like a new can of tennis balls when you open it, and it's so satisfying to hear that. Like,
dude, I did. Okay, like, so like you're almost giving me a wet daydream here. It's like so. I love the chemi smells and the new can of tennis balls, that rubbery shit that you get. So to be able to have a jar and to be able to get that legit, just like when you unseal a can of tennis balls, and then you get that chemi goodness in there. Oh, dude, you can't do that to me. Like, oh.
It's just now this one's more on the side of the fuel than the chem, but it's yeah, you know, it's I get what you're saying, but that it was definitely sounds like ooh, but yeah, that I definitely got to get better with that little.
Cheers, Johnny. Hope you're doing well, brother.
Well, man, fucking, there's not enough space in here for this shit to move around and hurt nothing, so don't worry about it. It'll be. Plus, it was all vacuum sealed shut, man. Didn't move around much. So good, man. I was just like getting them out, and I was telling you, man, these things are like the day I put them in here, man. They're like they're nice, you know. They've got structure to them, you know, a little bit of soft bounce, and it's nice. These are just right. I really enjoy that vacuum sealer. It it would be nice to be able to do it like a little easier and more consistently. So I have to figure that out, during harvest.
I want to get one now just so I can have a toy to play with.
It was cheap, dude. It was fucking cheap. I
New one?
paid like $20 for it. This dude right here. Now,
Yeah,
I
but like $20 American, that's like fucking 2 months pay Canadian. So
oh shit.
Yeah, the vacuum sealer was a game changer for me this year too. Worked out good time.
well,
Don't smoke
I
on
like
this stuff.
I like to see stuff like that working out because I'm a jar guy still because I got much smaller quantities I'm dealing with than you guys, so there's no reason for me to look for a different alternative. But yeah, GB, when you're talking about last year of doing the glass jars, and you guys are like fucking talking about how many you had going on, so okay, yeah, I fully understand why. Like that's just so much room and stuff that you're able to condense down into the size of a small tent. Or yeah, keep
Yep, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd look for a definite different alternative if I was in G-Bay's situation with that much. With mine, since basically my room fills my freezer, so I'm pretty good, right? Like I've got that space is good. So, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I guess I'm growing for that, for that amount. So nail it pretty dead on.
I've got some clones going, some BAMs that have roots on it. Just starting to show some nice roots. It looks like a nice healthy set on the one stalk coming down. So
did it root easily for you?
Yeah, they've been in the cloner for a little over a week. So if today's a Tuesday, it would be like 8-9 days, which is pretty about standard for when you'll start seeing roots on a lot of stuff. So that makes me happy. Now, one of the reasons I'm growing the BAM again is because I know what that is, and I like it. And I believe I can go back and find something close to what I'd had because while there is variation in the phenos I've grown out in the past, there's a lot of similarity throughout those as well, right? And so that's kind of what I'm hoping and relying on. And one of the other things is I grew a couple very respectable BAM outdoor plants last year that just the weather up at my parents' place 4 hours north of here, it's just too cold to see them through to fruition unless you got them in a greenhouse or something like that. So let's bring them down south a little bit more. And I think we're going to try maybe even one of each out at the in-laws. Because as I was saying, I've got two different phenos. One's a little taller and bigger, which is the one I'll most likely, unless it's wildly different than the smaller one, I'll likely go with that. But, if we're doing outdoor grow, you always want to kind of keep it incognito as possible, given that especially from the one side, you can see into their yard for sure. So it may be a shorter, bushier one that's less likely to turn into a hedge like G-Bay had going on, like it's don't want to draw that much attention if we can avoid it. Plus, G-Bay just insulted him. He's like, fuck
yeah,
you,
he told me, he was like, you know what? I don't need to take this shit from you, fucking nerd. I'm out of here.
G-Bay, come back. I didn't mean it. I love you.
We love you, G-Bay.
I love you, but I might almost love your plants more, dude. Just watch the So yeah, but I think so. Anyways, I know that the BAM will. It's hardy enough to get most of the way through flowering outdoors, farther north in shittier climate. I've in my other adventures with it, I was able to flower the one pheno out in just the high end of 8 weeks, closer to 9 kind of thing. So like right in there, it was better to let it go closer to 10, but it's like I was saying, when there's one time we pulled it a little bit early for whatever reason. And, like I said, no, you can't come back. It was still like, bam. Like, wow, she'll fucking like lift you up and then kick your knees out from underneath you.
Right.
Just trying to get my chat going from YouTube here. I'm sorry about that.
No worries, brother.
No, I'm trying. Let's try this again.
I wanted to give a shout out to Artman. He sent me that Harlequin. That Harlequin is rooted. I had just put that in soil this morning, and now I got the soil nice and saturated, and you can tell that the root kind of is contacting down there, and everything right now is currently happy. She's praying. She's in the tent doing good, and I am excited to get her running. So. I do want to say thank you, to Artman for sending that to me, because Harlequin is known as great medicine in the past. It has been for me also. So I'm excited to see what his pheno has to offer.
I like it. This is where I really wish I had someone in the area that we could send clones back and forth with. I do have Colton. And I think we're at some point in time in the near future, I'm going to convince him to play the game with his chocolate peaches Daryl strawberry cut, because it's one that I've tried before, really liked. G-Bay's tried it, really liked it, and it's just something I want to have around. So
yeah,
but if at least for a couple runs, but it's at the same time I'm in no hurry for it, because it's like. I always do the same old thing that I'm sure a lot of us do, where I have good intentions of popping a few seeds, and just a few seeds at a time is cute. But if you do that every week for a month, then all of a sudden you're going to have a really big footprint. And I'm really trying to take my time on stuff like I've got that investment dog is like the only actual legit keeper that we have right now. Everything else is just in like we're trying it out. Like I got the grapple cat that it's about to finish its second run through, and I don't know, like I like it. It's fun, but unless it really shows me something the second time around, it's really only around until I find something better to boot it out with, right? No point in getting rid of it right now. Well, it's still fun to play with, but as soon as like say the BAM comes out and it's just like, oh yeah, that's the fucking ticket right there. Okay, grapple cap very well could be gone. And what else do I want to make room for? So
and that's I've kind of been playing around, probably maybe slightly too much, where I don't have that good variation right now in my stash of like, I have good daytime. I have like fucking spin you out and just get crazy weed, and I have it's time to sit on the couch weed. I seem to have grown probably too much of the let's sit your ass on the couch weed lately. You know what I mean? So I need to get some of those uppers, which is what I'm hoping, this high and tights cross of the Triangle Octane Chaos Kush. The Triangle Octane was a very, high energy, good time weed, here in the house. And I have one that smells very similar to that. So I'm really hoping that, that's one that'll push through here for a little bit. And then originally when I did the Gypsy Juice Cross, that was kind of supposed to be, more of the daytime thing. And I really find it to be not that. It's good medicine. It's definitely good medicine, but it isn't like Mom. It's not gonna be that fucking woohoo weed, So
I find myself in a little bit of a predicament where we cut the Lilith, so she's gone and no more, but we need to get her back. More specifically, Ashley would really like to get it back. She says it's just one of those things for her. It checks boxes and stuff. I think it's one of those ones where it puts her where she needs to be, but I think she also retains a lot of mental clarity and shit too. Right? It gets you bright, and it's a very bright picture. It paints and shit like that. But where a lot of those sativas, they'll spin you a little bit faster than you can latch on to. Sometimes I think would be a good way to put it. I think she's able to do that. So I think I might have to get a hold of Jimmy and ask him if I can send over a couple packs of that maybe and really go looking through it. In the meantime, I need to find a bit of an uppity gear type thing too, like you were just saying there. I don't. My first inclination is to go with the black Cuban rickshaws. I was even playing with those a bit the other night when we were doing the backstage show there on Sunday night. But you're starting off at 16 weeks. And do I really like, yeah, I do want to go for it, but it just.
I think that's exactly it, man. Is I'm trying to find that uppity medicine that still fits within my garden. All the same, it's hard when I'm growing. Typically, the stuff that's going to lay you flat, it's got its own growth style, right? It's typically going to be a little shorter. It's going to be maybe a little slower on the veg. It's not going to be as tall. Whereas your other ones, these, the uppities are going to be fucking stretchy, bigger, bushy. It's just they don't quite always fit. And so trying to find one that fits in there just right can be a pain. And honestly, actually, the ones I've got in there, those triangle octane are looking good. Everything is staying pretty nice in there right now. Now that could be those things were shooting up until I decided to fucking try to mutate them. So that may have been what stunted them a little bit, but right now, man, they're perfect. They're exactly where I need them to be. So.
What I feel? You know what I feel like my garden ultimately needs? I feel like I need at least 2 different fuel or chem strains that I can fuck with, because just one isn't quite enough. That shit is so my jam that I can't just have the one, I think. So if I could have the investment dog I got now, and then get something along the lines of the Catahoula I was originally rocking, I think I'd be set right there until obviously you can find something better. But I'm rocking those natural gas by Platinum Truffle Blue 16s from Adam. And so I might find something rocking in there. That'll be good enough there. After that, we need some kind of uppity fucking, get you moving around, clean the house kind of daytime weed. But we also need something fruity. I feel like I like to have fruity goodness in there just because it's enjoyable. And so I'm thinking maybe go with the Drop Cherry Bahama Mamas from Adam as well on those, in search of that. Because hey man, I've been saying it for I think about 2 years now. Adam is probably my favorite breeder out there that I've had the pleasure of running his stuff. Multiple times I've run his stuff. And it's always been extreme hitters, everything that I've gotten from him. So, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's just here, man. I don't know if it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday or over the weekend. Me and the wife got some cookies, and these cookies had this lemon cookie in it. And this lemon cookie, she was like, "Yeah," she's like, "It's kind of good, but it kind of starts tasting like Pine Sol after, or Lemon Pledge after a little bit." And I was like, right? I was like, and that is exactly what the original Black Forest I found was that fucking cookie right there. It had that super lemony, that bright, and then it kind of hits you with that Pine Sol or Pledge kind of cleaner thing. And you're just like, what the fuck? It's I like that, but I feel like somebody just cleaned my mouth out with some kind of fucking cleaner, And Dan, you remember that, man? That was that same fucking Black Forest that I brought to Michigan when we first met, and bro, that's what that was, and that was the one that was complete and utter fucking medicine for me, and that was the one, those were the seeds I popped directly from Adam, and when I figured out how nice that was and everything I found in that one, I lost that specific clone a long time ago from back surgery, I think it was. But that's what I will find again, and that keeper will be kept. Yeah.
Keeping of the kept keeper.
Isn't that how that always works? You end up losing the good one.
I will keep the keeper.
For me, what I wonder now is I've seen enough of the grapple fritter and a couple of grapple fritter crosses that I've made, that the original grapple fritter cut that I had originally had, I haven't found anything even close to it. And it was just extreme friggin' chemi friggin', but like on like a cookies frame. And I almost wonder if the vial of seeds I got, the original grapple fritters, were maybe something else that got mislabeled. Because this is, shit happens. It wouldn't be usually, I think, with cannabis seeds, where most of us are pretty good about it. But hey, I'm an idiot. I make mistakes. Wouldn't be the first time. That's why the whole Cariboo Cookies breeding project just got dumped in a heartbeat, because I combined those seeds with a different project I was doing at the same time, and I just had that momentary lapse of, oh yeah, they're the same thing in each bag. Why do I need 2 bags? And then combined them, and then almost as soon as I done pouring the last seed out, I was like, oh, what did you do? And I was like, well, that one's done. But you know what? I actually don't really feel bad about that, because I just had the pleasure of smoking some of that Cariboo cookies. Like, I was one where I just, like, I gutted myself when I did that and lost all interest in growing it out, searching through goodness. And I smoked some of it recently, and it's from a lady that in my area that grows, her weed that she grows is fucking good. Her storage and carrying skills are fucking absolute shit at best. Because if I need to get a hookup off her in between my harvest, I get this bag of like powder dry fucking, where you can't tell what it is. It's got no flavor anymore because it's just so dried out. And I'm just like, son of a bitch. Yeah, it may possibly worse though. Like, it's sad, because it's, but from what I was, from judging from what I smoked of the Cariboo cookies, even in that dried out fucking powdery state, I'm glad I didn't waste time growing it out again. Yeah. Like the genetics on both sides were solid. The socket souffle from Irie as the father, I liked the socket souffle. It wasn't one of my favorites from Rasta Jeff, but I grew that for a hot minute. And the grape diamonds I grew for about 2 years before I let that one go on the mother's side. So door is open. Oh, Mrs. must be home or something. Or if goes.
Nice, Billy. That's one of those, when you start getting into the grapefruits and the sours and things like that. That's when it's one of those where I'm like, man, I like it. It's not medicinal enough. That's not good enough medicine for me. It never really quite hits quite right. And then in the end, it all just reminds me of like latex. Well, I just can't get over it. And I've never really been too much into those, like the sours and things like that anyway. And that's probably it. It just doesn't hit enough for me. But I can definitely see those flavors, man. They fucking pop.
I like grapefruit terps.
Oh man, what was it? The last thing I grew from Katsu. Totally fucking, it rode the line between that sour, that grapefruit, that fucking latex, that dried up latex paint, yep. All of it. And it was right there. What the fuck was that I grew? Damn it.
See, grapefruit is one of those ones where if I grew something looking for those terps, the old lady would be all over that. She that's one that we definitely agree on. I think she's a little bit bigger on the grapefruit terps than I am, but I can absolutely get down with that. Actually, I think I just recently flower out a grapefruit that fucking hermed on me real bad. I think I seem to believe. Like,
I thought that was a watermelon.
Was it maybe?
I think that one was the watermelon something.
I don't think I've grown those ones for a hot minute.
It's pretty
my Durban Affy that fucking freaked out. I upped the light coverage on it, and it just didn't like it. It just threw nanners everywhere. It was freaking, like top ones too, not lower nanners where you might expect it, where it's receiving no light. Everything that was receiving the 50 or 70% power of the LED. And then when I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just up it and see what happens in like, this was probably like week 8 into flower. And then about 4 days later, I see a nanner or two up top on one branch. I'm like, oh, nip those off. And I look, oh, there's another one. And then you start looking and you're just like, oh, that's a lot.
I didn't see any.
Maybe I'll cut it a little sooner than I was thinking. And then I went in there about 3 days later and it was like, holy shit, I pissed this plant off. Like, we just better just.
You went from having a couple nanners to you just turned this thing into a boy, huh?
Oh yeah, dude. It was, yeah. Like, yeah, this is a very confused, fucked up plant. So, more than happy to get out. And the funny thing is, those were sold as feminized seeds to my ex-wife back like in those days. And she bought them for me because I was really interested in the idea of grapefruit terps. And I think I popped 3 seeds the first go around, expect them all to be females. 2 of them were, one of them wasn't. And that's one that pollinated a whole bunch of my shit. And I've told that story a bunch of times before. But the grapefruit to the one that I kept around for a bit was insane. Like, yes, absolutely. It was grapefruit terps. I just like almost a pinky purpley sparkle to it and everything. And I was just like, yeah, this is a good plant. And then
those terps seem to hold well too. Like they store well.
Yeah. New Fi. Oh, yeah. I had a feeling she was home there. He still stuck up on me. New Fi actually sent us some undercaker a while ago. And that shit was awesome. That was
I was.
yeah, it's a good one though. But yeah, the undercaker here, I might as well shut these off so the lady doesn't take up.
Yeah, I was just the fucking grapefruit terps and those they remind me of the super lemony like the fucking Crystal Light fucking lemon terps that when you put them in a jar, if you do not fucking clean that jar afterwards, everything just smells like that terp. Like those grapefruits end up leaving a jar like that. They just fucking reek that jar up. So
see that's one where I would like to have. I don't think I'd like to have grapefruit in the rotation at all times. And that's where it'd be awesome to have a buddy that's a little ways down the road that you could pass that back and forth with if he kind of had the similar mindset of, okay.
He's like the guy who really like I kind of do it with my Hawaiian. I fucking love that weed and everything, but there's a point when I just have to get it out of the garden. I've had enough of it, and so I'll get rid of it for about 2 runs, and I'm like, give my baby back. I need my baby back.
Well, to be honest, when I think back on the 3.5, 4 years the missus here and I have been growing together for, I think of there's like probably the Catahoula that we kept around for a bit, the Grape Diamonds, and the first Hawaiian Snow that maybe the Golden Goat. All of those I wish I still had cuts around. Because we've tried growing out other versions of them and they've not been the same, or just having that hole in the medicine just sucks. So when I think about that, it'd be awesome to just have a buddy or two in the area that was. Ooh. That could be a good idea. Actually meaning to reach out to you about possibly something like that for outdoor season coming anyways. I've had a few conversations with Joel Scotts and I've seen some of Hillbilly Herb stuff outdoors. So it's see, and that's another thing is if the more people that if they, I got like all of my friends weren't imaginary internet friends from faraway lands like Illinois and Michigan and shit, South Africa. If I had friends in the area that were growing, then you could like actually go out and just see what other genetics are like and stuff too, right? It's just like be like, okay, Fluff's got that over there in his garden over there, and be like, figuring, okay, yeah, I fucking love that shit. I love that work. Maybe I don't like the look of that. Maybe I'm glad I didn't pop that pack of seeds that I've got, or like it's
trying different vegetables, sharing your vegetable crops.
yeah. I need a farmer's market club.
That's fucking. I live in one of those awesome towns that like it's still old people in old ways. Like all I got to do to get a few fruits and vegetables throughout the growing season is just go to the post office, because somebody inevitably has a box of something that they have too much of, and that's where they know everybody will fucking see it. So you just bring your overage over to the post office and pick up what you want.
I love that, man. It's one thing I actually enjoy about this town is the fact that our P.O. box is actually at the post office. It's a small town, and when there's a package that isn't big enough to fit in the box, you got to go in and talk to the ladies in there. And the ladies behind the counter are cool as shit. They bullshit with you and joke and have a good time and whatnot. And then it's off to go and open up baseball cards.
Whenever I pick up stuff, does that work?
God, it sucks having to behave on spending on shit like that. This is where, like, why couldn't I have been born fucking rich instead of sexy as fuck? Because, I could probably take being ugly if I was rich, but no, I'm fucking sexy. Man.
Right? I mean, what do you do with that now?
I know, right?
I was just thinking I had a request, and I need to find that Lilith, because I do believe you had sent me some, and it's heading back your way. So
Love you, Fluff.
you're welcome.
I sent a message on Instagram. I haven't or not Instagram. Discord. I just haven't gone and read it.
Oh.
You replied.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, she was like, I think you sent it all. And I was like, oh, well, I will gladly make sure that you can have that back. So,
well, okay, so here's the thing, and I feel the math should solidly be in my favor. If I recall correctly, I popped 10 seeds, and 9 of them were males. I had 1 female plant out of there. The mathematics on that is what are the odds? Have got to be freaking crazy. And so I feel like the other 6 will got to be females, at least fucking 5. So
there she is. All right. Perfect.
Well, that just means I have to buy more baseball cards and send them to your house. So you have.
You'll just get an express package of a cheap one that's got some, like through the regular mail.
Regular mail.
I'll get it to work. Just don't even pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm just.
I like
but
that.
Lilith's on his way back to you. So that's the real point.
All right.
Shit. No, I was going through that though, man. I saw that some of those Charlotte's Web was in there. Some other fucking cool shit, man. But that was definitely the Spider Girl was. I found some heavy CBD leaners in there, and I found a really heavy candy smelling one in there that the bugs ended up getting before I ended up getting to harvest that one. It was outdoor in the garden, and it was kind of one that just I kept smelling. But obviously something that smelled that nice and tasty, the bugs had a fun time with. So I never got to, but it really made me wonder what the hell that pheno was going to be, because it definitely wasn't like that. When you think of that kind of licoricey cherry CBD thing, there was a little bit of that there, right? But it definitely almost seemed like fucking like all the free, like an everlasting gobstopper, man. They just put all the fucking flavors in there, and just it's like, what am I smelling now? What am I smelling now?
Yeah.
I smell sweet and I smell I like, but I can't quite tell what it is. And that's what that kind of reminded me of. So it's been one that's just every time I have popped one, I've kind of run them small, but I have found really nice super terpy phenos, but short plants, like they're definitely like tent plants. It looks like almost every one of them that I've popped out of the Spider Girls. So, and that could just be maybe maybe once they hit the pots, they're cool, right? They're just like, all right, we're good. Like, you kind of like almost auto like, right? It hit that pot size, it stopped growing. So, had I transplanted them or sooner, might have got a little bit bigger type situation, because they're definitely nice. They bushed for sure. So
Hey,
I
don't reef. Well, I never tried them outdoors. I don't know how. I've never grown them to see their actual potential. But I don't recall any of the Spider Girls actually being overly big. Bushy as shit. Yeah. At the point you definitely want to thin them out, but
Sorry, guys. Boop, boop, boop.
well, let's do a dab.
Let's do that.
Better dab.
Yeah, I think
that's not the one.
that was.
Huh.
I
So sorts. Now I'm like coughing in your guys' ears and shit. Don't fuck me up. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim.
You know what else we can do while we're? Oh, is my computer freezing up? No. Want to shout out all our Patreon supporters. It's been a long time since we played this video, so for you, shout out to everyone who contributes to the show on Patreon. Help pay the bills around here. We very much appreciate it.
Being a friend, travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say thank you for being a friend.
Cheers, Justin Bean. J. Patrick, see you, brother. J5 420. Jason, right? See you, roll smoke. Poke myself in the eye.
Fuck yeah.
Hurts like a bitch. Sir Hunlot in the house. Oh, shit, 311. Cheers, brother.
Yeah, man. It's always good to see him come.
Bro, I always laugh, man. I was a blue collar guy, right? A construction worker out there in the field, always doing shit. And we do safety meetings and things like that. And I inevitably, and not even for a joke, we'd be doing fucking a meeting on like eye safety. And my ass would like poke myself in the eye with my fucking safety glasses on accident and be like, look, we have a problem. We have a safety issue. I can't use these fucking things.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
even something.
And you know how
our safety lady will fucking tell you, oh, you gotta wear your safety glasses. And like oftentimes safety glasses will fog up. Yes, they are a very useful thing. Do not get me wrong. I'm not trying to suggest they're not. But we sweat like bastards even when it's cold outside, or if it's cold, they'll fog up sometimes because people that wear glasses know what that's like in the winter. And they can just also become a safety hazard if you can't see clearly out of them. So a lot of times guys just don't wear them. And we do a yearly annual general meeting where pretty much everybody that works for the company in BC has to go sit in a boardroom for a day or two and listen to the fucking safety lady squawk on like a pack of fucking crows, but one person. And it's just like, oh my God. But it's, at some point in time, I remember she's telling us, like, safety glasses, they don't fog up. There's been great advances in safety glasses. They no longer fog up. This was, I think, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? This sounds like coming from somebody that's never worked a fucking day in the field their life. Yeah, well, yeah, safety glasses have gotten a lot better. They certainly don't fog up as often if you get the right ones. Because there's plenty of cheap fucking shitty ones out there still too. Right? You know, it's, oh my God. But listening to her go on, the funny thing is it's like she'll be like, oh, and when you do this out there, and when you do this out there, you're just like doing the checkers. Like, yeah, that doesn't happen. Nope, we don't do that. Yep, no, don't do that either. It's just funny.
Mhm.
I just
Ooh, hey, J5, who all you got running in that fucking homie hoop house?
Oh shit.
Yeah, he just said that fucking Clay's got some work going in the fucking homie hoop house outdoor this season. So fucking Clay does some. He's got a good eye for fucking plants. I can definitely tell you that. And I ran the, oh fuck me, what was that one? It was the RS11 cross, blue 16 maybe. But man, was that thing fucking wicked. I mean, just insane terps. Frosty plant. Mine was a little bit sensitive, but we all know I torture shit, and a little sensitive probably doesn't mean much to most normal gardeners. So, but man, it still produced good. Frosty, smelly dank, and they were sweet. Ooh, goddamn, it was that RS11, but fucking just a touch better, I think.
J5, if you want some of those Bam Hunses, dude, reach out to me. I'll send you a bunch of seeds, brother.
Yeah, I feel horrible. I got a pack for him still sitting in my truck.
You're gonna have a killer fucking.
He's giving up on me for sure. I know. They're coming.
Actually, I got to get a fucking package out Colton's way, too. I've got some seeds of his that are from Adam that got to go to him that I still haven't gotten there. And then also I got some of Magpie's stuff, which I was supposed to bring to him back in, it was late November, I think, when we went to Calgary to try and see that King Diamond show that got canceled and missed his place in the blizzard. Fuck, that was an adventure. Oh, so here's a good one. Friggin' swing it over to friggin' music and concert talk and shit for a second. So Bachman Turner Overdrive. Randy Bachman, the guitar player, is one of my absolute fucking musical idols. Like, he's right there with fucking Zach Wild. So BTO, they're coming through, and they're playing in my hometown of Prince George, where my parents are. And we're going to go see them, a whole fucking swarm of us. Friggin', they're gonna go with take my parents, my in-laws, my old lady, then my daughter, and then my stepdaughter from the previous marriage as well. That's like a total of 8 of us. And then if we can get, like, say, my sisters in on it as well, this would be awesome. Like 3 generations of us, because it'll be my dad, daughter, and myself. and my mom watching out, you know, it's gonna be a great time. Great time. I'm excited.
Yeah, I was just looking through the comments, man. I saw just 311 said something about an eye wash station. You want to talk about some fucked up shit that happens in industry, man? We accidentally tied in a hydrochloric acid line to a fucking safety shower and eye wash once. Yeah, totally on accident, and it was by the fucking engineer's prints we did it. Like, so, everything was shut down. This was, big shutdown and stuff, and so we're going through everything, and so after we do that, we get ready to fucking turn everything on. Homie hits it, and he's like, dude, there's something wrong with it. Like, there shouldn't be that much, like, crap in the line. Like, the color's not right. Fucking look back, and I was like, well, that fucking line doesn't look right. We get to following it back, and about 150 foot around the corner, the big sticker on it, hydrochloric acid. We just fucking tied right into it, fired the system back up. Thank God no one needed that motherfucker right away, because that could have been bad. But
I thought you were telling me that you guys did that on purpose as a joke. I'm like, dude, that's like I'm pulling some fucking nasty fucking moves on the work site, but that's like.
Oh yeah. Well, they have, what is it when they with the, I don't know if it's still used today, but they use like ammonia for drink. Something they were using as whatever, the freezing agent or whatever to keep the hockey rink cold.
Oh yeah, anhydrous ammonia. Sure.
Yes, that's the one. And I knew nothing about it. Whatever. I was a fucking co-op student. So I was still in high school working there as like a Parks and Rec student. Sweeping the floors and fucking cutting grass at the parks. And this James guy takes me into this room where there's all the piping and all that bullshit. And I guess he cracked some valve open, didn't say anything. He's just standing there. I guess, well, he's holding his breath or whatever. And fucking hit me. I damn near dropped. Fucking, I was like, holy shit, buddy, what the hell's that? It was like, it's almost like smelling salts, I guess you'd say.
Dude, you ain't you ain't been into a holy fuck, where'd my life go experience until you've walked into a fucking cloud of anhydrous ammonia. That shit will just instantly seems like it just saps your life force right out of your body. I got a fucking couple weird stories about that shit, but I had one. We were working in a ammonia chiller room, kind of like that. And a dude spilled a 55-gallon drum of it in there. And I was the only person on the first floor in the steel. Like, I'm hugging a fucking I-beam. I can't see. My fucking eyes and noses are fucking running. I can't breathe. And I'm trying to find a ladder to fucking crawl down so I can figure out how I can, like, try to live. That shit is great. And the guy who works there, who worked in that specific building, he's just sloshing through the shit like it's no big deal. He's looking up there like, come on, boy, you need to get out of here. He fucking doesn't even care. I don't even know how you get, like, immune to that shit. But that guy had, like, superpowers. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I don't fucking like that stuff.
No, that's nasty shit. That's how you know that's how you know meth heads are hardcore, man, because they will get under a tank of that shit and just start drilling. You're like, oh, yeah, we're going to get some of this shit. Get it home. Woo!
Popping on
her. Grade 8, like, stink bombs. Those fucking rotten eggs, fart smelling things that come into the glass vial.
Oh, yeah.
My buddy Brian, we popped a bunch of those into the air ducting vents in one of the men's bathrooms and ended up stinking out the entire school. They ended up evacuating the school, which is pretty awesome. It's not the point where, like, we got caught. It didn't take long. I can't remember. We probably got ratted out. Would be my best.
Oh yeah, people knew it was you 10 minutes after.
But like the vice principal was threatening to hand us over to like the grade 12 so they could kick the shit out of us and stuff. It's like, what you gonna do?
Yeah, that's fucking great. I never,
Oh, the good old.
I never could get a fucking hold of those steak bomb vials.
Oh,
God
we
damn
used to
did
it!
have
too.
like a novelty store in our mall downtown, and like there was a chain of these stores that most towns seem to have called San Francisco, and they always had those. And if they didn't have those, there's another one called the Wild Breeze or Morning Breeze, I think. It was the same shit, but it had like it looked like a little miniature Mickey, like of alcohol bottle with a lid you could take off and just dab it, and
That's some good stuff. We had the glass vial ones. We'd put them on the stairs at recess when we were in grade school. And yeah, everyone walk up the stairs and would end up getting squished and stepped on. Who did that?
yeah, we got caught as fuck. And the funny
Yeah, God, it's fine.
like you try and deny it, right, and get away with it because you think you're slick. And my dad's like, freaking when we get home after, you're at the fucking principal's office dealing with shit, he's just like, and I'm still lying to him as if it wasn't me. He's like, how is it the only person I've ever known that's been interested in this kind of shit, they keep getting fucking caught with this kind of stuff or in these incidents at school? It wasn't the first time. Right, that was just the first time I'd had the school evacuated. No, that's okay. So that was the second time I'd had the school evacuated, but the first time was in elementary school in the last day of grade 3. Okay, so this is like 5 years apartish.
You say you were in 3rd grade and you got the fucking school evacuated?
Well, I pulled the fire alarm, baby.
Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah. And then once
Nice.
again, I fucking like I don't know, man. Like my buddy Terrence I was with, he I don't know if he ratted me out, but it seemed like everybody fucking knew or something. And then we go into the fire marshal or whatever office downtown and talking to him, and I'm lying through my fucking teeth, like, no, it wasn't me. And I play stupid shit like that, and they're scared the living daylights out of me, and it's working. And then we get back out to the truck, and I think I'm getting off scot free, and I'm just like, holy shit, I can't believe this is actually working. And my dad starts using his fucking dad logic on me. He's like, I know you're fucking lying or something along the lines. So I'm like, oh. But he's like, how I know you're lying? And I was like, no. And he's like, how? And he's like, you wouldn't look him in the fucking eyes. I was like, oh. And then he drug my ass fucking in there and made me fucking confess the fucking truth. That's the kind of parents my parents had. Like, if you were gonna be an asshole and get caught, you're gonna fess up type shit, right? Which, hey, that shit comes through to me now. Like, when I in the younger years used to lie to try and get away with it. I also grew up in the era where your parents whoop your fucking ass with the belt and shit like that. That shit was cool. So at a certain point, you learn it's just better to tell the truth. You might get in shit, you might get whooped, but it's not going to be as bad as if you get caught fucking lying, and now they're really mad, right? So, and then it became the same thing, and like, just throughout life, you try and instill that in my kid now. Her friend that is like her bestie, that's going to be fucking hell on wheels. It already kind of is, and they're not even in high school yet. I know there's going to be bad fucking kids.
We ended up getting the school put on lockdown a few times, and it was the first time it was because we were setting off fireworks in the hall, and those fireworks were nice, gentle, easy fireworks, right? They were like spinners, which were a super bad idea now that you think about it, because when them motherfuckers hit that ceiling, well, they left some really fucking sketchy, scorch marks up there, but. We were setting like fucking bottle rockets down the hall and shit, right? Nothing fucking major, no big deal. Well, then it turned into fucking guys shooting, having Roman candle wars, fucking, across the corners of the fucking lockers and shit. So fucking, we're getting in trouble there. But then guys decided to start getting like the fucking big shells and just launching them down the hallway. And that's when it turned into like questionable activities, because like, I think they broke a window when one of them fucking went off and set some of the flares off into the fucking that classroom. It was some shit happened. I mean, my, not just me and not just my group of friends, just my general like generation did so much damage to that fucking specific school. At some point, like somebody lit off fucking like the good old school like M80s and M60s and shit, like fucking damn near quarter sticks, and flushed them down like the 70-year-old plumbing of the fucking school, which that didn't survive when them babies popped. So, they had to fucking get the whole school replumbed and shit. I'm glad this was years and years and years ago, because fuck.
See, we weren't able to get our shit hands on shellac because it's illegal as fuck up here. All the fun stuff. And then
I went to school with hillbillies. The fucking half of them made the shit themselves.
You'd be so happy when one of your buddies went on a trip to the States, like with the car.
Yeah, like even
come back like a pocket full of fireworks, man. That was a good time.
Yeah, it wasn't until I think around the time I graduated that we were actually able to get fireworks more frequently around here. Now there's stores that will sell them year round, a lot of gas stations and stuff, and it's great. But still, you don't get like M80s or firecrackers or anything like that that'll actually blow for the most part. There's a couple years ago, I remember we went to Dawson's Creek, and there's a place called the Mackenzie Junction that's got sells a whole bunch of fireworks and other stuff there. It's a gas station. That I saw these things. They say M80 on them, and I'm like, holy fuck! Oh my god! So I bought a lot of them, and then they had these firecracklers too, and they look just like firecrackers. I'm like, holy shit! I bought a lot of those. Like, you can't get this shit. I'm like, fucking, I don't know how are they even this. And my buddy fucking Sloat, who's drunk as shit most of this trip, we're on our way to a Megadeth Black Label Society concert. And he's fucking drinking the whole time. I don't drink. And he's like, oh, let's light the fireworks. I'm like, fuck you, shut up. Light the fireworks. I'm like, motherfucker, you're about to walk home. Shut the fuck up. All that. I managed to like wait until we're on the way home, I think, to light a couple of these off. Or no, I think I actually got all the way home. And no, they don't blow up. They just... They've got holes punctured in the sides of them that just make them spin. It's about the lamest fucking thing ever. I spent about $100 on various sizes of them. I was like, oh, that is just fucking dirty pool played like that. Because it's like, I don't think, like, I can't see any sane, rational person spending money on these things knowing what they were going to do.
Right? Man, I remember fucking when I finally stopped at like one of these like firework tents, like in mid-Illinois, right? So we're not in the outer states that have good fireworks. We're in mid-Illinois, and it's one of those questionable tents. And so, they probably have good shit in the back if I knew who to ask, or how to ask or what to ask for. But instead, I'm looking at these half-ass motherfuckers that go pop. And so I grab, like, the things I remember, fucking like the black cats and the fucking little lady fingers and shit like that. And I'm like, man, them things used to really fucking have a bang to them back in the day. And fucking, so now I got these and I'm all excited. And I've heard snails fart louder than this fucking thing went off. And the fuse was so goddamn fast, I was afraid to get anywhere near it just in case one actually had a little pop to it. You know what I mean? But like, I did definitely remember them having a fuse that you could fucking get away from in a reasonable amount of time. And these motherfuckers now are fast.
I seem to remember to get rid of these things because there's like, there's like 20 or 30 of them in a package. And there's, like I said, I spent like $100 on them. So there's a lot. They end up just throwing them pack at a time into the freaking fire when you're having a fire in the backyard. Like, even then, I don't even think he got like much of anything. I think it was just maybe the was a little bit louder, but you probably couldn't even see it because of the flames. I don't even recall. I just remember thinking it was slightly more satisfying than.
Man, I don't remember what the fuck I seen recently, but it was a snake, and this snake was made to look like something shitting, and so finally they've made a snake that I would fucking use. Because snakes, I always laugh at them. You know what I'm talking about, right? Little black things you light, and And they just fucking dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they put a little fucking cardboard thing around it, makes it look like a dude shit, and it's fucking hilarious. And so now I want to burn fucking snakes, man. I'm cool with them. They finally made it fucking cool.
I like it.
Right?
Can we all just take a moment here and kind of say
fuck you, 2 Cent.
I love it.
Straight
I was
as
like, no, he's gonna fucking cut me off and say something different.
Oh no, I was hoping you were gonna make sure to say fuck you, 2 Cent.
Oh yeah.
We love you, buddy.
I wouldn't trust his fireworks to be like legal.
Well, hell no. That's the best part, man. I don't want to fucking go with illegal fireworks anymore. I have finally met a dude at work once, and he was like the firework dude. He's like talking all these fucking shady like places he gets fireworks and shit. But you want to talk about a dude who can throw one hell of a fucking 4th of July barbecue? All right, it's that dude. All right. Fireworks shows. Bitching. Apparently, like here in close-ish to me, it's in Missouri, a little farther south. They have this huge like drone and fireworks fucking event, like worldwide, supposed to be super fucking badass, that we were supposed to go to. I think it was last year. I forget what it's called now.
I would love to go see one of those drone shows. I've seen like videos of the ones they do in China where they've got like these great big dragons flying over the crowd and stuff. And I think the possibilities for that kind of stuff is just way, way super cool. I hear talks of other people saying that, oh, maybe this is going to become the future and we'll get rid of fireworks in place because, like global health and shit like that. And I'm like, fuck off. Fireworks rule. Can we not just sanitize everything? There's better ways to save the world than getting rid of fireworks. So
yeah, you know what it's done, man. Have you seen fireworks lately, dude? They are making fireworks do some cool stuff now. Yep. Some real, and they have to, right? Because they got to keep up with these drone shows. So I think it's cool to have that kind of competition because it just makes people making fireworks get more creative with what they're fucking doing.
Well, it's all fun, it's all excitement, and done safely. Because I think one of the arguments for getting rid of the fireworks in favor of drone shows was wildfires. Which, okay, yes, very good argument right there. Just what he's put, but a well done fireworks show should not be of any kind of threat to any wildfire at all, right? Fucking everything's lit and extinguished up there. Sorry, GB, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good. I don't even know what I was talking about.
Damn, I fucked you that hard.
The skunk ape, I think if you lived through the 80s, 70s, you definitely shot fireworks at your friends, man. For fucking sure. I mean, we preferred the Roman candles because, I don't know, we were just a little stupider than most. And Roman candles were cool, right? Big old fucking colorful balls. God knows where they were going. Sometimes we just
ask wherever that is. It's got a burn mark on the inside of it from fireworks.
If you guys want to see one of the coolest launching of fireworks,
yes.
I guess YouTube Street Bike does wheelie with fireworks. Some guy's going down the highway and he's got Roman candles strapped to on the side of his crotch rocket, and he's up in a full wheelie just blasting off Roman candles as he rips down the freeway.
That shit's cool as hell, but I can't wait to see the video where some idiot does the same thing and biffs it. Because that would be really exciting to watch too.
All right.
Because you know it's going to happen, right? Because that's some cool shit to watch. And like, man, like salute to anybody that's willing to do that, right? I'm not even willing to get up there, pull the catwalk on the bike.
No,
strap fucking, 100 bottle or Roman candles per side sort of thing, and just let them go while you're pulling a catwalk. It's cool, but like, how cool is it going to be to watch multiple people going and doing it at the same time, and then the front one wipes out and they all go down?
It's happening.
Domino
You do
effect.
that too. You'll find lots of those.
They're running like 3 wide, and there's like 12 of them all doing the bottle rock. Or if I keep saying bottle rocks, but I mean Roman candles. That'd be sweet. I like
Oh,
The
yeah.
Roman candles are just so much fucking fun, dude.
They are.
They're pretty
They
fun.
are. So it's like one of the coolest fucking and worst ideas to give people. Like, here's this awesome thing that looks like it shoots fucking lasers out. Have fun. What do you think you're gonna do? What do you think people are gonna? I mean, one of our favorite ones, it was almost not quite dodgeball, but it was like, you know, when you would line everybody up against the wall and you would fucking take the Roman candle and just and then try to not be the dude who got hit. That was always a pretty fun one.
Yeah, we never lined up. And usually we just fucking.
You just scattered fucking.
Yeah, it would never start off with the intentions of doing like having a firework fight. It was always just somebody started it, and there we go.
Bro, the second somebody lit a firework, it was with the intention of starting a firework fight.
No, it
Started
didn't
something.
take long for us to get there. It'd usually be like, oh, we're gonna have like do fireworks tonight, right? Because you got a lot better shit than Roman candles, right? But it's just the Roman candles are so perfectly sized, and they're not overly dangerous. I've seen some people try and do that with some pretty big firework freaking cardboard mortars.
So we did this once at my cousin's house. It wasn't manhole covers though, but it was the tops to our fucking acetylene and oxygen bottles. So I don't know if you know how heavy those are, but you know those are pretty fucking weighty, and we were putting like as much under them. I think we got up to like a half stick, and we shot that bitch up so high that we lost the view of it, and everybody just had to fucking scatter, like go in the building and be like, all right, fucking when it hit, we all went out and called that game. We were like, all right, we're done. No more fucking around with this. Like that was the one that was gonna kill somebody. And that was at a family 4th of July party. My cousin's fucking awesome, dude.
We were on a sandblasting crew one time, and somebody, I think he went to go load more sand on, and the top of the sand pot was pressurized, I guess. And when the guy undid the hatch or whatever, the things went poof. There's a bunch of us kind of standing around bullshit, waiting for more sand, and I think it was like break time anyways or whatever. Not really paying attention to what's going on because they're just doing fucking normal shit that gets done multiple times daily, and you just hear that like that you did before the show there that you're getting me to listen to. Not on like 1,000,000 pounds of steroids, right? You've probably heard that sealed, kind of followed by compressed explosion of sorts. And we're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And you're freaking see the freaking guy fucking kind of jumped off the freaking or the trailer that the blast machine was on. And freaking get up standing there. Freaking, we're not really fully aware of what's going on yet. And then the lid off this thing, which is probably 2.5 feet freaking diameter. And for just lands, like, man, it couldn't have been like more than a foot away from him. Just right beside him, the guy that took it off. And he's a bit of a dummy as it is. He's just kind of like carrying on like nothing ever happened. And we're just sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? Like, it was impressive. Just that thing went high. That thing went high.
Dude, I worked in a fucking plant, and we had a hydrogen reactor had an issue. And they had these baffles in the exhaust. And I don't remember what it was to stop, but this one was failing at its job. And so it had a reaction. A hydrogen fucking exploded underneath of its reaction. And it shot this motherfucker out the 300-foot stack, like another 250 foot above that, and then just fucking fell down on the roof of the fucking building. That was a fucking cool explosion. I guess somebody like had caught it on a doorbell camera way back when, and we finally saw like a view of it from like a fucking mile away. Man, it's cool. It's just this fucking glowing ass red disc just goes boom. bam, fucking almost like a bomb on top of the roof. It was cool.
Nobody try this at home. Any of this stuff. Just,
Oh, you can't try that shit at home. That was
no, but
fucking.
like
That
fire.
motherfucker blew out windows in that town. That was awesome. Like it was a bad night for me. I was on the other side of the wall of that fucking hydrogen reactor. I woke up 3 hours after that thing blew. So it wasn't a good day for me. But I heard all the stories afterwards, and that after they woke me up and found me. Yeah, that was one of those fortunate ones, man. We were all working on that fucking system, so we were all scattered, and it was like break time when it happened. No, it was actually getting ready to be cruise ship change time. So it's fucked up. Cool, interesting things happen. Somebody said it earlier, man. You ever get those like strains that just clean your grinder? Like it's a little bit rough that when you start, but when you look down, you're just like, God damn, my grinder's clean. That's nice. You guys ever get that?
No, and I wish kind of it would. I get ones that'll be extra cakey or will leave like more plant material in the teeth than others will. But I'm friggin' I don't get what you're talking about.
I'm definitely, especially some of the high lemons, fucking will just. It's almost like literally like a cleaner in your grinder, man. They can't be like super dried out like weeds and stuff though. Those have a tendency not to keep that same property. They get a little, they get a little cakier on there. But when it's nice, it's fresher weed. More like it really does, man. Shit just scrubs that bitch clean. Not the bottom of it though. Like I use a 3-piece grinder. That motherfucker, it's all sticky, stanky, and fucking danky.
Okay, I see a comment from Hooli here. Remember the can of beans in the fire when you're camping. Woohoo! Watch the fuck. It's like shrapnel right out beans. Man, the first time I found that out.
Oh, you didn't at least make a vent hole?
Nothing. Me and some boys were camping just down the road here, actually, at a place called Dead Horse Island. You can basically walk to it. I don't know if we took a canoe or walk, but anyways, we were camping on this island, me and three or four other kids. And what were we doing? I forget. But anyways, I had this can on there, and you could see both ends were ballooned out. And I grabbed my big camp knife. I took my jean jacket and like pulled the collar up like this, kind of like Dracula. You know what I mean? And I poked that can. I had beans across my fucking face with like a line of like a triangular spot where the jean jacket was. It fucking damn near killed me, man. So just watch out. I just had to share that.
Hey, it's better than not poking it and being the one who was like knowing what was going to happen, because I don't remember if it was an uncle of mine that fucking was like, he tried to pretend like he was some big shit fucking camper, like to pretend, but that motherfucker did the same thing. He stuck an unopened can of beans there on the fire and just kind of let it keep boiling until the can fucking just absolutely gave up. And I mean, you had like 4 or 5 people covered in fucking smoldering ass fucking bean, shrapnel. Thank God, it's not like fucking canned shrapnel, but yeah, I getting splattered by a fucking mushy boiling bean isn't any fucking
dude,
better.
That sounds like fucking hell. Like,
it's not fucking cool. I think I still have a scar from that one.
I remember one time when this is like probably around the time we graduated from high school. We're at a pit party at a place called Crystal Lake. It's north.
Oh, fucking sweet.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. And where we had the pit fire party, like with all the pallets and stuff, just fucking roaring. And there's some trees freaking over not too far away that are just leaking sap and pitch to try and heal up from these trees. The trees are burning them or whatever. And they're like and this is a spot where I think we'd had fires for for a few weekends in a row. So there's like some buildup of this sap over a couple of weeks, and you see it there sitting there all melted and drunk as shit. For some stupid fucking reason, I decided to stick my hand in there. And it's like sticking your hand in like hot melted plastic, right? I'm just like, oh my fucking god, what did I do? Like fucking just how the fuck that seemed like a good idea, I don't know. You know, it's one of those ones where I knew better before that, but in that moment, for whatever reason, it's
like when you watch the video of somebody like dropping their phone in a deep fryer and actually reaching in, and you're like, then you're like, but at the time you're like, would I do that? Would I remember? Would I have my faculties? I mean, I would, because personally, I think like sometimes I'm like, fuck that phone. It'd be a good reason to never get another one. You know, I'd have one of those like 5 minutes, and then I'd be like, fuck, what's everybody saying? And so then I'd need a phone. But I think at the moment I'd probably be like, okay, like I got my wits, but dude, that'd be hard.
I feel like I don't even own a deep fryer, so I'm probably safe on that one.
Well, right. I mean, I'm not deep frying much.
I got nothing against deep fryers. I just like
to be fair, it's always some fucking kid who's got some needs Clearasil and is fucking texting rather than getting my goddamn order out. But
I love deep fryers, though. I just let me be clear. I am not being very prejudiced against deep fryers.
How do you make funnel cake without a deep fryer? So deep fryers must live on.
Yes, they cook delicious food.
Corn dogs.
Bro, you can air fry a corn dog, and it's pretty goddamn good.
See, now actually, that is something I do actually kind of want to try out as an air fryer. The old lady and I have talked about it every once in a while, but once again, it's the same old fucking argument every time. Like, where are we going to put it? Like,
here's the best thing I've found about an air fryer, man. If you bring home like your fried food, like you never want to bring home fried food and put it in the fridge, right? Because it's all fucking shit after that. But an air fryer fucking like takes care of that problem. It like heats it all back up and uses the oil that's already in it to help fucking crisp so it doesn't taste like too fucking bad and crisp shit back up.
yeah.
Fucking
So,
yeah, man. And like day old pizza, man, makes the fucking crust real nice. I don't know. I'm kind of down on the air fryer, but I keep trying to get my old lady to be like, man, we just need one of them, like, put the oil in and leave it in there for a while, deep fryer, just for every once in a while. Right. Awesome.
You know what? Like, I think the worst thing about not being related to my ex-wife's family is her father, and it's not going to be her stepfather, sort of my father-in-law. He does a wicked deep fry. It was about the only thing, in my opinion, that he was useful for, and I just don't really have much good to say about him other than that. But that man could do some wicked deep fry. And my kid, it's one of those things that I actually completely forget about because me and him just never had anything in common. To be honest, other than smoking pot, we had absolutely fucking nothing in common. But at least if there was a couple joints going, we could talk about that sort of shit, right? And my kid was over this last weekend there, and she was talking about how something about her pappy's deep fry. And I was like, oh, you little shit, that's right. That's some gourmet feasting right there.
Yeah. I got a fucking buddy, and when we all kind of like moved away and shit, his dad started deep frying shit like every weekend, in the garage. He set up like a little fucking deep fryer and shit. And those guys used to be like he would smoke, and him and his son would smoke shit every weekend. Now his son still kind of does the smoking stuff, but his old man really deep fries shit a lot more. And right, it's one of those things you're like, ooh, damn, that's good stuff. It's not healthy in any which way, shape, or form. So I'm glad I don't have it, but.
So I'd like to get into smoking stuff again. That's another one of those things that, like, the last year or so, leading up to the split up and whatnot, I just gotten into trying to smoke meats and stuff like that, and was coming up with some really good stuff. And as we know how it is, you only get better the more you try and whatnot. It's enjoyable, and now it's just a good propane barbecue. That's
They work.
so
I got like a good smoker finally, and was starting to kind of get into it, and then like old guy stomach issues and things start to fucking come up, and for some reason, like smoked food really sets some shit off. So I think what I need to find is like I need to start doing shit in like lighter fruit woods instead of like those like deep, super smoky like mesquite and things like that. Do more like the cherry or like the pecan, and don't get it quite as smoky, and it might actually not have quite so any of these like super barbecue-y places, I'm just right out anymore. There, it's one of those stomach just can't do it.
See, that's
But
dude, if I ever fucking could make my way down into the States, figured out south, I definitely want to try some of the fucking barbecue down there. It'd be fucking amazing. It'd be like, hey, well, friggin', this is camp right here, guys. Booth Camp South is right outside this dude's restaurant right here.
Well, you just got to get to boot camp, then just Kingfisher, then they set him loose. He makes sure we're all taken care of.
oh, that ain't no shit. Ooh. And then you get to add Raider to that, and it's just like you get the pizza.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, fucking, it looks like his like opening week has been fucking awesome. So, yeah, I don't know if Raider's been out there in chat or is listening tonight, but fucking, congrats, Raider.
All right,
Fucking rock.
This dab right here is for Raider and Fuego Pizza.
Fucking Fuego Pizza, baby.
This pizza is fire.
Hey, if you're in Colorado, go check that shit out.
It was brought to my attention that some air frying foods can cause some issues. What's the word? Something. So check it out yourself. Potential formation of acrylamide, a compound that forms in some foods when cooked at high temps. Probably carcinogenic to humans. Check it out.
I think that's a general anything when you like for humans. If you cook anything at high temperatures, like that's your fucking steaks, your hamburgers, your just cook it fast and get it off. And if you have that black layer, you're pretty much I think that's kind of what they're talking about. Is that just started hearing about that one.
Yeah, it's always nice. So gotta be aware. Me, I'm like, I eat whatever, so I'll be here. Take that as you will. So you guys read your dabs? Get it in you? Oh, yeah, so identified a male in the tent for one of the seedlings. Tiny, but a little spade-like looking thing. There, so. Seen it 1,000 times. It's a dude.
Yep.
So are you in the hunt for one? Or we just only looking for females?
No, we're just doing female stuff now. We got to burn through that fucking barrel of seeds I got.
I'm with you for now. I'm waiting for the right breeding project. I've had a bunch of ideas I've tried over the years, and the Spider Girl is the only one that's ever truly done what I was looking for. And so now I know I want there to be some cameras, some fuel involved. What's the mixture? Do I still want to fuck with maybe the grape or maybe a Kevin and orange or something like that? Could be funky in my mind, at least, with what I see potentially going on. And it's like, well, what? Oh. Plus, I don't like your idea. Fuck that shit.
We're both just dip diving.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, that's okay. He doesn't have to like my idea.
Weird.
Oh, well, look who finally decided to join us.
Oh,
Hour and 25 minutes into the show.
Accidentally, like fucking right click like it just drops me off. It's like fuck you,
Incidentally,
Lee.
okay. Yeah.
I might have to try that in a minute, but I don't know. Somehow I fucked that up. Hi, back. I was
Yeah,
dying a little bit
I
while that happened, though. Whew.
Yeah, I was trying to set up a YouTube chat, and I blasted myself right off the internet. So
But no, man, talking about the fucking that you're so I haven't popped it yet. I did get to try it, and I am excited to get to it. But like the Golden's Goat Dalton Spawn. You know, the Dalton Spawn was a decent one. Beyond just the crosses that you've had out with it, it's the one you've taken probably the longest. Do you have any plans on taking that further? Is that one of those like it just kind of like hits you when it hits you?
Every time I'm like, yeah, because I've got Dalton's Pond sitting at F3 right now. And every time I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go to F4. It's just the same old game. If somebody puts something more interesting in front of me. And that could very well be the next breeding project that I try to do. It's like, maybe I'll be like, okay, fuck it, let's go to F4. And then knowing that there's some really funky smelling shit in there that I think would go really good with, like, say, a chem-based strain, that could be really well. And as well as it goes well with fruit on some strains, I've noticed as well, some of the offspring crosses. So, and actually, I've got another F version of the F3 that's like a fruity, cheesy kind of pheno as well, as opposed to the almost like juniper berries kind of smell that I like.
That'd be kind of interesting. Did you have any plans on doing like the Charlotte's Web with or well, you probably don't have any more of like that, but or let's say like the Spider Girl, like found a really good Spider Girl. Would you hit that with like the Dalton Spawn? Do something like that? Would that be something interesting?
Yeah, good. That would actually be kind of like a weird back cross because Spider Girl is just Dalton's Pond across to Charlotte's Web. So that could be fun. I want to find.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the Dalton's Pond was already in there. Shit.
Yeah. So, but that's one of the things I've wanted. So, I haven't grown the F2s out yet, which is where I'll find. That's where you should find everything in that generation. Of the F1s, I found for the most part things are pretty uniform. So we'll see how well that all carries through on there. But a lot of that kind of the CBD dominant, that cherry licorice kind of smell or taste in there. And I'd like to see if I could get something. I don't know. See if I could maybe tone it down, so maybe not quite as high as CBD, maybe a little bit more THC elevated in there as well. Because like when unless we're sending our shit in for testing, once again, we can only assume what's in there based on what we're seeing, smelling, and all that. And from growing the Charlotte's Web out, knowing the licorice smell, taste, and all that stuff that's in there, and seeing how it's very dominant in the Charlotte's Web or the Spider Girl, I'm assuming that's gonna be. I hate playing the percentage game, but,
right.
But say let's say if we're gonna try and put numbers on, let's say somewhere like in the 15%. I'm probably way off, but I'm looking for round numbers as well. And say 15% CBD and maybe 5% THC. Just throwing numbers out there off the top of my head. I don't actually know these numbers to be true. So maybe let's look for something to make it closer to like an 8-to-8 ratio. A legitimate kind of like 1-to-1, because that's what a lot of us do, and I'm just as guilty of it, is when you take a CBD and a THC cross, we kind of throw the term 1-to-1 on that, right? When we don't actually know. Whereas I feel the Spider Girl is definitely CBD dominant which is what I was looking for. 100% mission accomplished there. Let's work it up the line to F2, F3 whenever I get there. I'm in no rush for it. But at the same time, yeah, let's look for if we can make it so you get more of a medication and but you don't really lose the CBD or like the medication from the THC and the CBD side, right? So you get that.
How true is it the cherry thing with CBD?
Very fun.
Okay, yeah, because I see it's being mentioned in chat here, and I don't know that it was a CBD strain, but I made concentrates once, and it literally tasted like a cherry service.
So
Crazy.
really, what you'll find is that
Like I know that flavor.
red licorice. So you can't bust it down to like a cherry, but I think when you think of like that red licorice kind of cherry licorice, but you got to add that like weird kind of red vine terp thing. That is that CBD. I've bought, grown, looked at a lot of different CBD cultivars, and they all have that one thing in common, and it is that cherry licorice, that red licorice fucking thing. So that is general tell right there. That is that taste. So
I
that's
feel
why
like if I do work that when I do get around to try and add something else to it to get it close to, like I said, maybe ratio as opposed to CBD dominant, I think I'll go with something chem leaning though. It's already got chem dog in the lineage. So let's play with that aspect of it and see if we can pull any other weird shit up there. Plus, who doesn't like fucking chemi weed? Cheers, Raider. I see you there, brother. Good to hear that Frank was kicking ass in this fucking since you've been open, man. Fuck yeah, brother. Fuck yeah, man. Let's do another dub. Yeah.
we need like those fucking horns, man. Yeah, we don't need to be playing with those. It's honestly not here, but
I do.
Fuck, when I remember that you have those on the Discord, I already play with them too much. So
Dude, you know how annoying I am when I have a bullhorn.
I can only imagine.
Like my ex-wife, like in the first week or two that we were together, she fucking bought me a bullhorn.
I think I remember something about
I walked all around my fucking trailer court that I was living in, fucking pissing everyone off because I got a bullhorn now and I'm drunk as shit and this is amazing. So you're just gonna have to listen to whatever the fuck I've got to say because I'm drunk as shit and I got a bullhorn. I get a phone call from my buddy Randy who just got a new fucking scope for his rifle, and he's just like, Brad, I got the new scope on my rifle. I can see you. Like, oh, so I should shut up? He's like, yeah, you should shut up.
Hey, man. There's no reason to drop subtle hints, man. I can fucking take it. Just tell me. Do I need to fucking shut up? I'm kind of that guy too. Like, right. You only have to hit me upside the fucking head with a shovel with it for me to be, and I'll be like, oh, my bad. I didn't realize.
Yeah, and then so I take this thing to work fucking the next Monday. This is like Saturday night or Friday or something. And I take it to work on Monday. I had a sawmill where you ever been inside a sawmill? It's fucking loud. You got big, heavy equipment that's smashing logs around and cutting them and fucking, it's just really loud. So I'm like, I got the perfect toy here. I walk out of the lunchroom and you're onto the catwalk and you just in this big open mill. And I'm fucking talking shit as soon as I fucking hit the deck. You're out in there. Walking out to my machine and I'm talking shit the whole fucking way. Or you get up to my machine. Or you start running that. It's to let the other guy off shift. And about 2 minutes later, my foreman came up and took my bullhorn away. It's like, you can't have that. Like, what the fuck, man? He's like, that's funny as shit, but no, you can't fucking have a bullhorn out here. like you're gonna fucking piss too many people off. Like, come on, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like so, whenever on the big jobs they would give us the fucking the fucking horns, and like you're on a big job, and we all understand like when safety time is safety time, you be fucking serious, right? So big lifts going on, you don't hear any horns going off, right? Everybody's fucking serious. But goddamn, as soon as that shit fucking it goes back to normal, you hear everybody fucking with those things, and I was one of them. Like, oh yeah, man. You ever hear one of those little horns go down about fucking 40 foot of pipe? Like just and it fucking reverbs and it hits the guy welding on the hilarious. Fucking so yeah, I've had my fair share of getting really loud shit taken away from me too. Nobody thinks it's as funny as we think it is. I don't know why. Like, because if this shit was recorded, the internet would think this shit was fucking hilarious.
The internet
That's
would
one of those things, man. Like we could have been like internet millionaires if smartphones were around back in the day. We could
have
also
you seen what the internet like? Oh,
if
that's not a proud
smartphones
thing.
were around back in the day. So as it goes both ways.
Yeah, it's fucking. There's also internet felonies. People still getting locked up for dumb shit. So I also would have been that guy. They'd been like, do you know how many illegal things you just did right there on that fucking 1 5-minute clip? Yeah, pretty funny, huh? No, you're going to jail. Fuck.
There's a video
really?
here. There's a video in BC here. I think it was actually quite a few years ago now, like 5 years ago, maybe more, of a guy on a crotch rocket doing over 300 kilometers an hour. It might have been miles. I feel like it was kilometers because it's in Canada on Vancouver Island. But he films himself doing it and then puts it on YouTube. Oh, fuck, man. Like, and of course now you're fucking in front of fucking front story of fucking global news that night or whatever it was. And I'm just like, how fucking dumb are you? Like,
you live on an island. It doesn't matter if it's a big island. It's still an island. They're going to find you.
Yeah.
And police, they're good at this thing called like the grid pattern. Shit. Their job. They'll find you. They're getting better every day, folks. Sucks. They got all this technology and shit.
Yep.
Is that what 300 kilometers is, Sir Hunts-a-Lot? 180 miles an hour? I tell you what, that's still enough on 2 fucking wheels to make you shit yourself.
Well, that's super fast.
Fucking fast.
Put it this way: I ride the sissiest bikes out there, and they will make you shit your pants if you.
I love fast. You get up that fast. That's when you get scary fast.
Yeah.
And I don't own the safety fucking precautions to keep me safe at that fast.
Yeah, but 140 or so is where I've maxed out, and that's about 250K.
I hit 150 was when I was on 2 wheels. When I was like, yeah, I'm done there. That was good. Woo!
Yeah,
We gotta
cool,
stop.
man.
Yeah. That's why I stopped that. I've done quite a bit over that on 4 wheels, but that's a lot of that, safety and everything else. But except for one time, I had this one asshole, and fuck, he had a fucking Porsche in like 911. He had, I don't remember how the fuck he got it, but he's like, let's go see how fast this fucking thing will go. And I'm like, woohoo, let's go see how fast this fucking thing will go. So we're having a good time. And this asshole, once we hit 200 miles an hour, fucking, this was right when cell phones were starting to fucking be a thing. This motherfucker takes his hands off, takes a goddamn picture of the fucking speedometer while we're fucking down a country ass road. Like, country roads aren't known for being nice and smooth and fucking straight, especially when you're going 200. All right, that shit down fucking country is scurry. So that was one of the fucking worst. And I I wanted to whoop his ass, but I was like, couldn't get my heart down fucking slow enough to even form a good sentence. So that was one of the scariest I did. And it was just for that reason. Fucking.
Well, motorcycles are a little different,
Yeah. Oh, dude. Fuck yeah. 2 wheels scary as fuck, dude.
I was watching
you in death.
I was watching some videos the other day, and it was all about the early, leader bikes. So like the mid '90s, 2000s leader bikes. Before they came out with ABS and traction this and computerized that and fucking whatever. So it was 4 cylinders, carbureted, fucking cable, fucking operated, simple this, simple that. But the machines were like 400, 450 pounds, somewhere in that range. And they're rocking like 180 horsepower to the rear wheel. Like, that's fucking insane. They're beating McLaren and F1s off the line and shit, like stock. Like a stock CBR 1000 smoking a fucking $750,000 car. It's like, oh, fuck.
I don't remember who sent me the Instagram post, but I don't remember if I sent it along to you. But when you talk about just power under a motherfucker, we used to have this. I think they called it Boss Hog bikes, and they put V8s into it. But this dude's got a hopped up fucking big block on him, like at this gas pump that he stopped up, and you hit that. And I have seen, so I remember I used to do a lot of car shows, seeing like that. I used to see when he first came out with those first like couple bikes a long time ago, right? And I mean, I remember standing there at a show one time and a guy got real cocky with the throttle on that and just watch that dude twist it and just drop it. But from all the torque that's just right under you, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, they're a big bike. Well, just big. It's a motor with some handlebars on it.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. They put some fucking wheels and handlebars on a motor and said, "Have fun."
Yeah, I got like no interest in even trying to drive anything that nuts. I'm not a motorbike guy, so I guess maybe I got that going against me. But I like that. Just when I see that, and once again, like I say, I'm not an experienced guy on bikes. I'm like, that's just got bad news written all over. There's no way.
100%.
It's
like I just want to like go down the road and just like have that thing just like at an idle, right? I'm cool, man. Like that'd be something that'd be like in the garage. I'd pull it out to annoy the neighbors a few times, pull it right back in the garage, big old smile on my face, shut the garage door. All right, I'm done.
Yeah. Now you give me like a nice fast fucking like quad or something like that I can drag through some fucking muskeg or some deep mud or something like that. Now we're talking a little bit different story, but once again, we're not talking about putting a fucking V8 on a quad.
I don't know, man. At the time when Hayabusas came out, like there was a lot of people wrecking Hayabusas and tearing them up, and it was pretty easy to get the motors and functional out of junkyards and things. And I really wanted to build like a go-kart out of a Hayabusa motor, because that would, and I specifically to like take really sharp turns and fucking roll it. Like I was gonna build like a nice, smooth rolling fucking overhead chassis, all the safety supports and shit to go in it. Had it all designed out, man, but never.
At no time ever should a Hayabusa motor be used in a go-kart.
Yeah,
cross kart. Maybe.
Oh, I should have.
Yes, cross kart, yes, but go kart.
I should have.
I think
a 125 or 250, not even a 250, but a 125 dirt bike motor in a go kart is fucking mint.
Bro, why do it if you're not gonna fuck?
Talking about a go kart then.
Nothing worth doing is fucking.
Well, I guess so, but it was nice knowing you.
I just feel like anything worth doing is worth overdoing, and
yeah,
see, me and Fluff agree.
Right,
that's 13 times the size of the required motor size to push you along.
And you have a problem with that?
No.
Okay.
Actually, that's we could probably even say safely it's probably 30 times the amount of power required to move you along in a go-kart.
Oh, easily.
Sounds fun as hell. Like, trust me, I love machines.
Do you figure I was building this thing out of fucking chrome moly? This basically it was a fucking safety roll cage with wheels and a Hayabusa motor is what I designed, right?
Yeah.
It was now I had at the point that we were thinking about doing this. I had talked to my cousin. My cousin designs fucking drag racing chassis. Like this thing was built and designed like this. and it wasn't going to be super light. So when you
too
add
bad.
the weight behind all of the fucking things that was going on here, you know, we were pushing the same amount of frame that was basically under the fucking Hayabusa again at this point. So,
You're just making it sound like a big sissy mobile now.
oh no, dude, it was meant to roll. That was the fun part about it.
It's gonna be big and it's gonna be weight and stuff like that. Just like it was sounding so badass and stuff like that.
Well, you're still talking about like the fastest thing on 2 wheels. Now you just took the fastest 4 wheels and made it fucking roll.
These concerns for your life get in the way.
I don't think you understand the scope of what this thing would fucking do.
Our gain. That's what we're after. It's usually what happens when I'm out riding with buddies. Like, watch this. That's what happens. My pain, their gain.
Yeah, watch this is the equivalent to hold my beer. You know what I'm saying?
Even the Odysseys were a big word. I wasn't. They kind of went away when I was just young enough to try and drive them, right? Not to get too cool shit like that. Every once in a while, you'll see Odysseys for sale around on like Facebook or whatever.
I don't know if I remember the Odyssey. What's that one?
Basically, a little fucking go-kart with a roll cage on it, made by Honda. No suspension, if I recall.
Oh, the old Odyssey. Yeah. Just tube frame thing.
Yeah, they're
Honda's little go-kart.
Oh, it was like the fucking. It was like a backboard with like fucking 2 little foam pads, a steering wheel, like frame, open frame. Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. I remember those.
2 cents was, and he introduced me to a car today. I've never seen, the Subaru Brat. So you guys have obviously never seen it either, but
well, I'm not a fucking Subaru fan.
Know about.
Fuck 2 cents.
Yeah. Fuck 2 cents.
Cool, neat little car though. They had seats in the back with like little fuck off handles there or whatever. You know?
Fuck off
like
handles.
little joystick handles. You sit in the seat until I can hold on for your dear life.
Well, I don't think that's for your hand to go on. It fits in 2 cents car. You touch it, did you, Ray? Yeah.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, it was pretty neat though.
It's like not saying, you know, sorry, didn't say no.
Well, I'm not going no riding in that 2 cents car.
Yeah. Thank God.
I'm just trying to think, man. Like the fucking late '80s was an interesting time for a lot of cars. So,
oh shit handles.
You don't know what the oh shit handles were? Oh, I didn't know that's what you were.
I called them the wrong thing. I called them fuck off handles or something like that.
Oh yeah, the oh shit handle. Let's
see. Or the old fuck handles. I guess is what I was going for. I don't know. Yeah, Jay Patrick is first time I'd really seen them today and paid attention. I fucking scrolled through a bunch. I kind of rabbit holed on them. So people had built some up pretty sweet, man. Like think of the old Eagle Scouts. I think would be the old 4x kind of station wagon looking things. They're neat too. At the time, people didn't know what they were. They're like, "Fuck these weird looking things." And then now, they're like, "Oh."
Yeah, man. You know what? I was fucking surprised was even still on the road was like the Geo Tracker. I mean, I worked with this kid. He got driving one of them old trackers around. I'm like, how the fuck?
Dude, those things are fucking sweet. Those are billy goats, man. Those will
how
go
can
out
you even get parts for those things anymore?
They're expensive.
No.
Oh, that's the thing. They're expensive because they're kind of a niche market, right? Because you mean like one of those miniature things, right?
Yeah, I see how your way, Cariboo, they're more expensive where all the off-roading happens on a regular. Like if you can find one outside of the 4-wheeling community or where no one can really find, like if you find one that hasn't hit the internet yet.
Oh, there's another good one. The Suzuki Samurai.
Same thing. Yeah, same fucking thing. And they're wicked. They are so good. Because like some of them come with like four-wheeling type options, right? So,
right, it's cheaper than buying a fucking Willy frame. So
one low and a little buggy like that, it's like They're basically like wicked little side by sides.
Well, I was just gonna say that if I were in the market to be shopping for side by side, I think I would just go buy a little Suzuki Samurai or something like that and outfit it for my purposes. It'd be so much more cost efficient because nowadays, like a decent side by side, you're looking at like a $20,000 starting point.
Yeah.
You go and look for a Suzuki Sidekick that nobody's fucked with, you probably find it for like $3 to $5 somewhere in around that range. And if you cared enough that you just had to spend $20,000 on, go put all the extras into it. Then
you'd have one badass
tires, winch, freaking, any kind of roof racks and shit like that you'd want. Like fucking hell yeah, you could totally gangster up a Suzuki, so like way better than and they'll probably go a lot more places too.
Can't really fit a V8 in them. I'm out.
Fuck. Can't burn enough dinosaurs in that rig.
Nope. Fucking. You know what? I ain't got enough years in my life to worry about how many dinosaurs I'm burning. I want to burn a lot of them bitches.
Yeah, what about live lizards? Can we just cram them straight in the fucking tank?
That's hey man, at some point, fucking I'm gonna be fuel for somebody. I hope they're fucking ripping it up and having a good time with it. So fuck it. I hope
I like that. It's a good analogy. It's like that one meme video, whatever the fuck you call him there. Buddy comes out, he's like, this morning I heard some young guy out there. It's the only way I could describe it was getting after it. So it's like, who knows what he was thinking or what he was doing, but God bless him.
I like that.
Don't call on your neighbors when they're out there ripping it up for everything. Yeah. I feel bad sometimes, but it's sometimes I leave the house on the bike a little high.
Yeah, well, fucking sometimes you got to. You're in a hurry. You know what I mean?
Mr. Magbag, yeah. You just be a big chunk of fucking rosin down there. Turn into a THC diamond.
Hey man, the one thing I can guarantee is my shit will be made into high test. All right, that's all I know.
Fieros, man. They used to turn those.
Bro, the fucking Fieros, yeah.
That's 350 in one. That's fucking skookum.
Dude, that's awesome. I had a buddy in high school who had the fucking 350. He originally had the original one with the crack in the front of it, and his shit did blow out, and it caused some fucking issues, which is why he ended up switching and putting a 350 in it. And holy fuck, he did the whole fucking ground package, to do the Ferrari look. It was absolutely ridiculous by the end of him having it. And the thing was, right, he never paid to get it all painted and fixed properly. By the end of it, it was like 3 different shades of fucking primer. But it was 3 different shades of primer that hauled fucking ass.
Yeah. So I've seen the Fiero things. We used to have one in town. It was same thing. But it was the Blazer, the Truckarossa or whatever. So it had like the skirt made to look like a Ferrari skirt on the little shitty Blazer.
I was gonna say, man, at that one point they made that what was it, the Typhoon or the Cyclone, and that was a bad motherfucker, and it had a nice little ground package on it, but it didn't.
It wasn't one of those.
It didn't look ridiculous. It looked badass.
There were some pretty cool stock muscle trucks that came out. Like they were far between, but like if you looked, you'd find them. Like they were never really that good though at performance. Like when it came to suspension and steering and shit. Like American cars kind of
fucking
suck.
Truck.
Yeah,
it's hard to distribute the weight in a fucking bed.
Even American cars suck at turning and shit. Like compared to European and Japanese and stuff. When you take
Well, yeah,
high-end
but
race models, like,
I said, right, we're in America, right? We have
we'll
roads that
spank you
fucking
in a straightaway.
stretch out long
Like,
and
we'll,
straight.
yeah,
Them
see you later.
motherfuckers, they're going up hills and tight corners, and it takes like 15 minutes to get to 7 different fucking countries out there, right? We don't have that. So you're right. They got tight turns. They got to fucking, if they want to get anywhere fast, they got to do it in fucking 90 degrees all the time. So
Like I
I
just like
get,
when they take like the Viper motor and put it in the truck. That was pretty cool for a minute. 'Cause the Dodge kind of sucked. You know what I mean? And then they just had this gigantic motor. They're like, well, here, here, and here. We'll just put that in there, and everyone will just kind of stop looking at everything else falling apart.
holy shit. A word, one of the biggest mistakes I ever seen was somebody put a Grand National motor in a Triumph TR7.
You just
So
twist it.
they took that fucking turbocharged fucking 6-cylinder in the Grand National and put it in the Triumph TR7. Now, that motherfucker hauled ass, but
Cheers, Hooley.
completely ruined that Triumph. I still to this day cry about that car. Oh, fucking Triumphs were awesome. You
That
guys
sounds like
remember
a good plan, Willie. Deep pack. Fuck yeah. Love being old.
right? Like at some given point in life, like a hot tub becomes like almost like a thing that you're like, I think I might actually need that in my life.
Yeah,
Not just a it would be nice to have one of those. Like, no, I think I need one of these so I can continue to function and move.
I was trying to get my chiropractor to write me a prescription for a hot tub to see if I could have that written off, and it didn't work. It's like, nice try, but I don't.
You should try your doctor. I don't think a chiropractor's got enough pull.
We'll
Maybe you
see.
can use a berry. What they do in Canada?
Doctors up here in Canada aren't exactly a thing per se. So good luck getting to find one.
I guess there is that. I don't completely understand your guys' healthcare system.
Yeah, you know, they tell you it's universal. They ensure if you live anywhere near a doctor, there's just no reason to be a doctor in Canada, really. No, why? You don't make any money, and you get nothing but debt. Most of our doctors are immigrants, which I'm completely fine with. I don't care where you're from if you can help me if I'm sick, you know. But yeah, no, it's our medical system's fucked up here.
Yeah, it sounds curious.
Okay. Oh shit! That's why you got to grow medicine.
No,
Yep.
that's not doing. Yeah, we got it going. Except there's a fucking boy in there.
I had a buddy fucking he built his own fucking sauna. Like I guess he just kind of looked up at how like a fucking hot room sauna is built, and when he moved his shop for his business out of his home shop, he had an extra little bit of space, and he was like, you know what, I fucking need a sauna. So he built one, and I'm like, that sounds fucking amazing right now.
Fair enough.
I saw there's a video I've seen on, it's got to be Instagram, where a guy basically takes what looks like it's almost the equivalent of a trampoline ring and two of them to get a circle. And then takes like tin roofing, surrounds it with that, and then takes like small logs. I'm guessing probably cedar or something like that, about yay long or as long as it is to cover a gap, and surrounds the whole circle like that. Puts a little wood stove in there, 2 seats beside it, and then woods up the fucking. It was basically a 2-person sauna, and not a bad idea. Like that's like something you could almost, but not actually get away with doing where I live, because it would actually take up so little space, but unfortunately it would still piss someone off and they would shut it down. But because the advantage is hot and cold shock proteins are fucking, they're there. They're the studies that have been done, and it's absolutely good for it. As much as it sucks going from being like super fucking hot to like icy fucking cold, shit like that. It's not much fun, but it's actually really good for you.
I've always loved it, man. Like, especially I remember being a kid, even that age, man. You know, when we would go on vacation or something, they had the hot tub. It'd be turning that motherfucker as hot as it go. I'd sit there until I was beat fucking red, and then go jump in the pool, get fucking cold, and then do the whole thing, just constantly fucking doing it. You know? And,
Yeah, but the pool's not cold. Though.
no, but we're talking like back in the day, though. These motherfuckers, I don't know. Like
Right.
they didn't heat that shit.
Like,
But I get
know,
what you're saying when you say cold therapy. You mean fucking cold.
Yeah, like ice bath type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going from the extreme hot to fucking cold is, you know, that's also the difference. You know, when you do that extreme cold therapy, you don't go from extreme hot to extreme cold. That will fucking just flat fucking kill you.
Oh, it's good. I know people. That's how they grew up, fucking living. That's their shot.
I guess there is that fucking one thing. Was that the Swiss or some shit? They do that fucking super hot. They do those super hot sauna things where they get unreasonably hot.
We got family friends that they're from America and they moved out to like way out in the middle of nowhere. And if like you guys, if I'm saying middle of fucking nowhere, trust me, I mean like. You're 2 hours from fucking the nearest anything sort of thing. And they just bought a piece of land, built a cabin right by the Hamasco River. They built a sauna and you lather up and you figure maybe if it's warm enough that you could still get a bucket of water out of the river, maybe you can rinse and lather up that way instead of having to jump right in. But at certain points in the year, you gotta fucking kick your hole in that ice and hold on to a rope and jump through that fucking ice. And I'm just like, that's where I'm like, I'm a bitch. I'll straight say it. Ice cold water on my testicles is a big fuck no.
Fire, melt some more in a pot, bird bath it.
Oh yeah. Like I actually say my brother was one of the few times you'll actually hear me talk about him. But he was a bit of a juvenile delinquent we all were. He was just dumb enough to get caught, I guess, multiple times. So, but going to camp trapping, a prison camp that teenagers could be going to instead of like a little teenagers prison jail or whatever. And that's how they bath out there too. Is you go hang out in the sauna for a bit and then jump in the lake. That's right there. If it's winter, we're cutting a hole in the ice. And once again, I'm just like, no. That was hearing him tell those stories was one of the reasons why I was like, I can't get caught doing stupid shit. So at a certain point, where it just became where like, okay, I'll just stop doing stupid shit because hey, jail sounds like a bad idea for someone of my short stature.
Nah.
But also, if I gotta jump in a fucking hole in an icy lake, no.
There's Galaxy. You ain't gonna quit growing, man.
I know. I tried like a few months back. It didn't work. I got plants right now.
Well, fuck on that, boys. It's getting late.
All right.
Yeah.
There you
go.
Fuck off. You. I dropped the lid that I've been using for my carb cap lately. I don't know if you can see how hairy it is, though. Some shit on there on the floor. I don't think I want to do that time anymore. It's a clear sign that it's time for that one to go in the garbage, and I need to find a new old jar of dabs that can become my new carb cap, because I can't possibly use the carb cap that I actually have that is for